Well, hello, welcome everybody to another small philosophy hour. And it's 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. where I am. And if you take out the daylight savings time, then it's 2 a.m. pretty much. But, you know, usually some of my best work kind of comes out after midnight. Right now, I was working on my speech that I am to give in Sedona, and I was just listening to some music, and then just the words were flowing for the speech in Sedona. But then something additional also came that I'm like, wow, I need to discuss this with everyone. And that is the continuation of our discussion of fate versus free will, destiny versus free will. As I discussed in previous video, that we don't have destiny. I mean, we don't have free will. Or quite the opposite. There is no free will. Everything that I am doing, everything you're doing, everything I'm thinking, it's only coming through the planets that are moving across the horizon, okay, on the southern side. And because of that, because I again rechecked, I'm like, why am I getting this thought? I'm like, oh, okay. According to the Sastyamsha chart, according to the Navamsha especially, in the Prashna, the question that was present at this moment, um, it showed that I'm supposed to discuss something similar to what I discussed previously, because the thought just came in. Okay, so the question: does free will exist? No, it doesn't. There, literally, if free will existed, um, astrology wouldn't be working then. Only on very rare occasions does free will exist. Only when somebody has the combination in their birth chart that your free will help you a bit, but not too much, because you are to pay those karmas. And one of the main questions that people asked, because in the last part I said our job is to discover through astrology that everything is already planted for us. And once we realize this, we need to then understand how is it it's happening? How is it that everything is destined? What is the science behind it? What is the software matrix? Then you understand, oh, it's the maker. And then you understand that, oh, there's something much more intelligent and more divine than me up there that is doing everything. So okay, I'm going to pray to the divine. But then the question was put out, if everything is recycling, because we're doing that repeatedly, the same thing over and over again. Things slightly change, but we repeat the same thing over and over again. Success comes in around the same time, failure comes in around the same time, ill health comes around the same time, over and over again. So what is the point then to being reborn? What is the point of being reborn and doing this? Well, the point of being reborn is God keeps giving you chances that, hey, look, in this chess game, this matrix known as life, you can escape it. You can escape it. But just like there are physical laws, there's law of gravity, there's law of light, law of speed, law of sound, there's also spiritual law. There's also spiritual law, but we are so oblivion to it because if we cannot see, hear, touch, or smell something, it doesn't exist. And spirituality is more of a hallucinogen for us after work to listen to someone. Because for us, if we cannot grasp this with this biomechanical suit, it doesn't exist. But once you realize that, okay, astrology is this one element that is showing me that I'm not in control. And astrology is this one element that becomes this bridge to take me from my ignorant self to the knowing. The only purpose then becomes is that knowing how to escape the cycle of death and rebirth. So when you are thinking, well, why are we then, if I'm destined to marry this person, if I'm destined to kill this person, if this person is destined to destroy my life, you know, why are we being reborn again? What is the purpose of creating karma, paying back karma? Because while you're paying your prarabdha karma, you're doing your kriyaman karma, and you're having agami karma in your life. The point is this: these four karmas will keep coming in and going, recycling, until you decide that, okay, I'm going to take the step to not come back into this particular cycle. And escaping this world may just be one level. There could be 108 levels where you have to go to 108 worlds, 7 worlds, whatever worlds are out there. We don't know. I don't know. And then you progress in that world to go closer and closer to God. And that is the main purpose. Now, here's the thing: we as human beings are always looking outside. We're building spaceships. We are always wanting to fly out. Like we always want to go to the moon, to Mars. Elon Musk is wanting to go to Mars and wanting to go Jupiter, Saturn. We saw what Pluto looks like. And we're always wondering as common people, man, I wish I could have a spaceship and I can go to a different planet. I wish I can just fly. Like I believe I can fly. That R. Kelly song. What you fail to understand is that you are a spaceship. And I'm talking physical, literal form. This biomechanical suit you call body is a spaceship. The plants that are around you, okay? The fruits that are around you, the food that is around you is the fuel. And there are all kinds of fuel around you. You have to choose the right fuel that is needed for this particular rocket. Because some cars run on diesel, some cars run on just petroleum, just oil. Then there are 3 different grades of oil, especially in US: 87, 88, and 93. 93 is being the highest graded oil. The food, the trees, everything around you is the fuel. The soul is the astronaut sitting in this body. And the countdown. So everything that is up here is down here. As above, so below. So when you hear the lady doing the countdown, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, ignition, and then you hear the rocket burst and then tears through the atmosphere. Same thing. When you eat the right fuel, you do the right exercise. What are you doing? Then slowly with your Kriya Yoga practices, your right technique of breathing, you are activating these chakras in the back, right? The spine. That's the countdown that you're doing. It's the countdown that is happening. And once you do this final countdown of this astral chakra, the crown chakra, the soul finally gets the green light that, okay, go straight. And the rocket helps the soul to exit faster than the speed of light, physically faster than the speed of light, to the other realm. Otherwise, if you don't do this, and if you're just doing what I'm doing and you're eating junk, you're, drinking alcohol, all of these things, then what you're doing is that, or I mean, I don't even know if what's alcohol doing or not, but you're just simply having the rocket shoot the soul at literally maybe 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, instead of like 108 million miles an hour. And so the soul comes out, goes back, and then finds another body and goes in. Like, well, the rocket wasn't powerful enough. So, well, let's try again with this rocket. Let's try again with that rocket. And you keep switching rockets, which is this body. And you come back again to play the same role. It's like life is like a movie theater. You're watching a movie, you're in the movie. When movie is over, you exit the theater. And then you see everybody, oh, hey, you played my mom. That was pretty good. And you're looking at that person there, hey, thanks for playing my wife. That was pretty good role. I mean, and I'm sorry for doing all these things to you when we were married, but okay, so I'm gonna see you maybe what in three lifetimes. I think we're gonna pay our karma back again. All right, I'll see you then. See you. So you're like talking behind the scenes, and you're going back again in the theater and playing that role. You're looking at your, great grandfather. Hey, nice to see you, man. Are you gonna come as my wife or as my son? Oh, you're gonna come as my mistress. Oh, okay. And when are you gonna come in? Oh, the year 2088 to 2089. 1 year? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll meet for a longer period of time some other life. All right, see you then. You schedule things out with all these things. You think your grandfather is always going to be your grandfather? No. Your grandfather can come as your mother. Your great grandmother can come as your spouse. Because for us, this limited, stupid body and mind, it's hard for us to grasp that, oh my God, how can they be my wife and my children and this and that? But they are. So, knowing this, remember, when you walk outside tomorrow, you see the trees, you see the grass. It's all the God has put out here for you to start fueling your rocket. The guru comes in, trains the astronaut. The guru's not training you, it's training the soul. Hey, at this speed, you're going to be this, so we're going to have to get you used to this speed. When you're doing like yoga, when you're doing meditation, you're preparing the soul that, hey, you're going to go at a very high speed. So let's make sure that you're ready for this. And this is what is so once all the countdown happens, this is what's known as Mahakalpa Samadhi, where you already know when you're going to go. You know when the launch date is. Just like Yogananda knew a day before, he was telling all his followers, his disciples, that okay, only a few hours left. My rocket is supposed to launch as soon as my speech is done. That's when I'm going to go. All right, I'm ready. Suit up and everything. You see those astronauts walking with their oxygen. That's just imagine Yogananda was walking on the stage with that oxygen pad, and his rocket just launched and left. That is the, at least, like I was saying in the first part, grade 1 through 6 of education that I can provide to you. I can't provide you the skills or coach you from how to go from here to there. That's going to be the part of somebody, the real coach, the real wise man. I'm just the guy at the door saying that what are you here to experience, and what are you going to experience, and what is it that you're going to see inside, and where the rocket is. And yes, there's something called a rocket, and you're supposed to get in and go into space. People don't realize this body, everything in the body is actually really physically, it's a rocket. The spine is the tunnel where the soul shoots out from, and it goes out from the crown. Because remember, when a baby is born, this part is very, very soft. Why? Because the soul comes in from here. And when you are, I mean, you should go to anybody who is highly divine, who is doing Kriya Yoga for like 20 years. This part becomes soft again. Doesn't matter if you're 20 years old, 50 years old, or 60 years old. This part becomes soft again. And when you're ready to launch, the soul just leaves from here. The soul needs to exit from here, not from your feet, in order for it to not come back. So this is that conclusion that I want to give to fate versus free will. Is there free will? Uh, I think there's like probably 0.1% free will. The only free will you have is, do you want to escape or not? You don't want to escape? Okay, then keep playing your role. Keep coming back. You will keep experiencing life from here to World War V, World War VI. Now, if you don't want to be in this theater, if you don't want to take part as an actor, and you want to go home, well, then there's a procedure. There's a place where you have to exit from. That's what astrology is for. Astrology is kind of like, first of all, astrology shows you. Astrology is like a telescope. It shows that something exists out there. There are stars which are million miles apart. There are galaxies. There are planets. Okay, so we know what it is. We know it exists. We know it's working. The engineering out there is working just fine, perfectly. The person who is dealing with the engineering may not be able to show you that 100% result. And that's where people are like, well, this didn't happen. This didn't come true. This astrologer told me that didn't happen. So, yes, I have free will. No. What was their knowledge to really show you that no, there is no free will? That's another thing. But the main thing is, this body is this biomechanical suit is an actual rocket. So don't look for a future where you will have your own spaceship in the garage. This spaceship has existed as long as human being, this intelligent being, has existed. And people are just thinking, oh, we're going to build this rocket, we're going to go this speed, that speed. If you know yoga, you can be at two places at the same time. Live, you can be at two places at the same time. You can be between, I can be here, and if I was so well versed in my practices, I can meet any one of you in your room that you're watching right now, and I can appear to you. It's not some magic, it's not some God's miracle, it's actually high super science. So I'm just gonna end here because um, that's the thought that came in when I was writing my speech. Like, oh my God, this is what I'm supposed to tell them too, and I didn't tell them. Let me make a second part to, destiny and free will, so people know that no such thing, no such thing. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for spending time with me on this discussion. Okay.